From what I've been seeing, Squid Game is being considered one of the top 5 shows or the #1 show on Netflix right now. And for the past few weeks, I've been asked constantly, what do you think of Squid Game? I keep seeing it everywhere. When I look on YouTube, people are reacting to it. I see it on Facebook. Hey, I just watched Squid Game. It's amazing. Yo, man, you really need to watch Squid Game. All I've been hearing for like the past 2 months, I think it came out September 17th. Having wrapped up Narcos Mexico, I finally sat down and watched Squid Game, and contrary to what people are saying, contrary to this popular opinion that it's the best show on Netflix, it's the most amazing show people have seen lately, I think it's overrated. No, I definitely see the appeal for it. It's essentially like a horror movie in series format. Now, personally, if it was more like a Saw kind of game, I think a Saw kind of series, I think that would be a lot more interesting because it'd be very psychological. There'd be a lot of moments that make you think, that keep you on edge, never knowing what's gonna happen next, because that's what Saw is like. This show felt very predictable.
Oh, predictable.
I mean, I don't need every show to be like Game of Thrones.
The Lannisters send their regards.
That's not an issue, but like the plot armor on this guy was so heavy that he would literally win at the last few seconds, right when the clock was gonna hit 0 on every game, except for the tug of war. But I mean, that's a different kind of game, and you knew he was gonna win, because if he didn't, then the show would end. And it was so obvious that Sang-woo was gonna be Shane Walsh from The Walking Dead in this show, because he was willing to do whatever it took to win. And there were clues leading up to that he would process that in his head, like, what's gonna get me the best chance to live and survive and win all that money. And he would always do exactly that. And it was very obvious that once they decided to go home, the majority vote, they were gonna go back. But that was cool because it gave him some time to kind of see the background for everyone and why they're choosing to play, and why playing that game and risking their lives is a lot better than dealing with their lives back at home. And that was pretty interesting, because usually that comes before, or they'll just kind of piece it together throughout the show, or they'll have flashbacks. But this one was quick and easy. Just give a brief moment to kind of see where everyone's at and their motives and everything, their story. And I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, the fact that they were going to go back, that was very predictable. And even though I didn't fully know that it was the old man that was behind everything, there were clues, but I didn't really know for sure. Like, his reasoning for doing everything, that was predictable too. I mean, I was hoping that maybe there'll be some greater reason for everything, but no, it was because he's rich and bored.
You see what I'm talking about? This is predictable Scotty talking.
He's just like the VIPs with the horrible acting. I mean, he has so much money that he has nothing better to do than to watch poor people play and die. Another big issue I had was the pacing of the show, because it felt dragged out, it felt very slow at times, and I found myself kind of just waiting for the games to begin. I didn't really feel too interested in the dialogue that happened between the games, and I also had to pause a few times. I mean, most of that because I was watching it in Korean with English subtitles, and sometimes I would miss something, so I'd have to rewind, but also because I just found myself uninterested with what they were saying or what they were talking about or anything. Not always, but usually. I mean, the season is already like 9 episodes, but it felt like it could have been shorter. Because again, I kept finding myself waiting for the games to begin and uninterested in the banter, uninterested in the dialogue, none of that. I just wanted the games to begin. I think the episode where I felt like that the least was probably the one where they were playing marbles, like a game of marbles, because even though it was predictable, you knew who was gonna live. For some characters, it was very, very emotional. And even the good guys who want to play a fair game and want everybody to have a fighting chance, at the end of the day, this is a game of survival, and everybody wants to win, everybody wants to live. A lot of time just felt wasted and dragged out. I mean, the biggest example of that was in the Stepping Stone episode. Right after they completed the game, they blew up the glass, and there's like a slow motion moment where you get to see them get cut. And not only did they not get cut enough, because I mean, you have glass blowing up like that right in your face, there's no way all you get is a little cut on your cheek. But they went in slow motion for like a full minute. Like, that was completely unnecessary. Or how about the storyline with the selling of kidneys and whatnot, how that went nowhere? I thought that was going to lead to something greater, but no, it didn't matter. I mean, the only importance for it was that the cop found out that the person with their kidney missing was not his brother, so he was told how to find information on that, and he found that information. And then the big revelation at the end was that the front man was his brother. I mean, That's not a huge revelation, it's a little bit of a twist. The biggest issue I had with that specifically is that there's not really a reason. He just sort of, yeah, he's his brother, and then he kills him. That's it. No answers, no nothing. And then his reason for doing the games, unlike the old man, is, oh, well, you bet on horses, so we bet on people. People aren't horses, one. Horses race. You're not watching horses beat each other to death. You're paying to watch people play and die for money. Like, that is not the same thing. I mean, I found that storyline the most interesting because I did not know where it was going to lead. I didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, that was the most compelling storyline for me because I didn't know what was going to happen. I wanted to see where it was going to go because the main character and all those characters, I already knew who was going to win the Squid Game, who was going to win the money. And plot twist at the end, his mom died. So the reason, or one of the reasons why he went to play the Squid Game in the first place was gone. And that was a pretty dark moment. But then the other reason for joining the Squid Game was his daughter. He wanted to have enough money to be a good father for his daughter. And then instead of getting on the plane, he goes to stop the Squid Game, or at least that's the impression that I got from it. I don't know, that felt pretty dumb to me, but again,
So predictable.
but the show wasn't completely bad. I mean, I like the music. I mean, most of the time I like the music, and I like the character stories in that second episode. I like the colors. I thought it was a little too colorful at times, but the colors were very vibrant, very, very clean. I like that. And the emotional acting, I guess. I mean, not so much episode 1, that was a little overacted to me, but when they were playing the Squid Game, it felt very real, very desperate. Everyone looked on edge, so that was very good. But yeah, it wasn't all bad, but it was a very overrated show. I don't know if I would put it in my top 5 shows on Netflix. I don't know, because I don't know which shows are specifically on Netflix, like Netflix originals. So I have to check up on that, but it's not the number 1 because I like Narcos better and I like Narcos Mexico better. Those two for sure are better than this show, in my opinion. And as far as any show I've watched altogether, this show's not in my top 10, not in my top 15. I probably don't even have it in my top 20 if we're being honest. And I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of people that disagree with me in the comment section. Go for it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and I will catch you in the next video next Friday. See you then. Bye bye.